there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another car video. Is the tide changing? And the reason why I'm saying that is in regard to the state of black male relationships, black male and female relationships rather, right? And I mean, most people come and just say they're broken. Even people who are in like the relationship business, more on a mainstream thing, not just the YouTube folks, but just mainstream. Because I follow a few people, and what I'm seeing is it's small now. It's tiny. It ain't major. It's definitely not major. But you get many black women who have some followers who are saying, "Hey, you know what? A lot of these brothers out here need healing. A lot of these brothers need some help. Some are saying, we need to take some accountability for our part in all of this, right? And that's small. That's the key thing to remember. It's small, right? It ain't mainstream, but I don't know what's happened. I think it's a shift. And it could be really, usually when you have shifts like that or the beginning of a shift, it's usually several factors. It's one factor is the environment. It could be the election of Trump. It could be, cuts being made. And I think those are all arguments, right? Also, I think a bigger argument is this ain't working for a lot of sisters. What's been happening ain't working for a lot of sisters. To me, brothers have been ghosting. In fact, one commentator, she actually said that. She was like, you know what, she seen all these brothers ghost. And, she the type, she even said some ghosted on her. And she's the type who, she'll say her truth. And she'll call stuff for what it is, right? But the reality is a lot of women are starting to change. Now, it's not all of them. You still got the same ones who blame us for, global warming and everything. And you're going to have some who are bitter, angry, whatever. That's going to happen. That's going to stay there. No matter what. The tide can change completely. You still going to have some of those. I don't think they'll be on the majority. But I think there's a lot of factors happening and stuff. I think reality is hitting many women and stuff. Right? And because I know a lot of women out here, there's a lot of women out here been celibate, black women, attractive black women too, who've been celibate for a while, and they finding out, hey, they can't run to the other side, so it's like this forcing them, it's a bunch of factors forcing them to like really look at themselves, really look at brothers, looking at the state, looking at their contribution to it, right? Now, from what I'm seeing, it's small. But see, one thing about me, on a professional basis, when I say professional, I've actually had training on how to pick out movements and something. It's small now. How it picks up depends. It depends on a big enough name saying something. It got to be something on the level of what Oprah was to like start saying something. Like if somebody like Michelle Obama said, you know what, we need to stop tripping with these brothers and stuff and understand they're human too, I guarantee there'll be some changes. That hasn't happened on a big scale because usually any movement really goes through three stages, right? It goes through three stages. It's ridicule. The movement gets ridiculed, and a lot of these sisters who are on that, let's look out for the brothers, let's help the brothers, they get called pick-me's or, they want a pat on the head, handmaiden, or all that shit, right? So they get ridiculed first, even some brothers will look at them like, maybe they faking or something, that happens. Then the second phase of any movement is discussion. People's like, hey, wait a minute, there might be something there. Let's actually talk about it, see what's happening. Then the third stage of a movement is adoption. And basically what you'll have there is people like adopted becomes mainstream. And that's any movement. In fact, any movement, if you really studied movements, and like I said, I've done this professionally, political, social, cultural, religious movements, they usually stay underground. Now, this movement, we're seeing, well, it's always been a strain, but I think you're getting more voices with social media now. More women can get their voices out. They can be contrary to the ones who are saying, black men ain't shit. And that's been, that statement's been going for 50 years, but nothing stays the same. Nothing stays the same. One thing about history, I'll say historical forces is forcing like some women to wake up. Even some brothers. Even some of those simps who, make their money off of telling sisters what they want to hear. Yeah, a certain muscle-bound person might be out of a job in a few years. So, it's something happening. It's something to pay attention to. It's something I'll be tracking, right? If it follows most other movements, it's still something ain't going to hit good until on its own without any major person adopting it. It probably in 5 years, to be honest with you. It's 5 years because it has to, it has to really get out there. Then it has to hit some young people have to adopt it. See, if you get some young black girls who kind of adopt, the attitude like, hold up, let's deal with the brothers fairly. Let's take accountability and responsibility. That's what really puts it over when you get young people to get involved with that. It could happen quicker if a celebrity, like I said, a Michelle Obama or Beyonce, something like that. Some star, some well-respected woman said something. Not Oprah, because and I'll argue this with anybody. She kind of started all this shit, or she was that kind of like that person who made it worse. She didn't really start it. So yeah, something's happening. Something's definitely happened. There's a shift. There's a disturbance in the force or something, but I'm starting to see more and more stuff. I think it's a good thing because the way things going now, it can't continue. And there's a definite future. In fact, I've actually projected, because I've done some futurist stuff too. I've actually had discussions on internet radio about the future. And for those who don't know, when you project into the future, it isn't like just really some psychic thing. It's you're really looking at different disciplines and seeing the outcome. Right now, with the outcome, if something doesn't change in black male-female gender relations, and if you really put together the economics, social, a lot of factors, I'll say maybe in 100 or so years, 150 years, right? That's actually a good cycle. 150 years. The United States now will, first of all, the dominant race won't be white, right? The dominant race won't be white. Not to say they are now. Okay, dude, I'm running my car. Yeah, the dominant race won't be white, but it'll be tan. It'll be tan. Because you have an increase in black men and, portion of black women who are marrying and having children interracially. If the current trend continues, the future will be tan. And for whatever quote-unquote blacks that are left, will probably be a permanent underclass because of economic reasons. They'll probably be shut out of whatever mainstream society is at that time. So, I mean, it's a bigger thing. It's a bigger danger. And, black women in particular, if they want to see themselves in the future, if they want to project someone who looks like them in the future, would especially have to change. But that's the direction it's going in now. Everything unless there's a major change in course. So, and it would be some other stuff too. The United States will probably break up into 3 nations or something, but that's another. Well, 3 nations in Texas. Because Texas, they own their own stuff anyway. But, and that's just looking at trends and everything like that to see where it's going. To give y'all something, and that's just, I haven't even got deep into it. To really get deep into some projections, I'd had to cut back from doing these videos and really pull from different sources and everything. So anyway, though, whatever the case, There's a change in tide. It's small now. It's small. It's small, and like I said, I'll be just kind of tracking it, and I don't know. Maybe for those who are interested, maybe I'll do a video on some on the methodology to look at, because there's a lot of factors when you're trying to project stuff. I mean, like a lot of it. This ain't just an opinion thing. I mean, a lot of factors you got to look at. Death rates, birth rates, rates of interracial marriage, even observing what's happening online. That's actually a part of it. You gotta really look at what's happening on the ground, what's happening in the environment. That's a really special thing. The political environment, laws. It's a lot to it. That's why I say it's a major thing. Like anybody who gets into any projections, future projections, right? It really is a discipline. It really is a major discipline. So anyway, right? That's it for today. I'll talk to y'all. Peace.